Plan on flying? In order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a real ID. Learn how to get your real ID today at tsa.gov/real ID or visit your local DMV.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4-Day Super Sale and get 40% off paints and stains June 6th through the 9th. With prices starting at $29.39, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
This week on Alien Theorists Theorizing, we explore the Clinton body count conspiracy.
Yeah, it's because it's all blood. Dude, as soon as there were a thing, I was like, it's all black budget stuff. That's what it is.
Like, there's no receipts.
Well, this is right by that Mina air base, right? Where we just talked about with Barry Seal, where they were doing drug drops, potentially.
So, I mean, the people who have the real power are not the elected officials.
No.
It's the Jeffrey Epsteins. It's those guys like that with billions. How they get billions of dollars, I have no idea.
Welcome to Alien Theorists Theorizing, case file 360.
Just stop right there.
360.
360. Oh, okay.
360 degrees.
All right, boys. So you guys want to open this one with a land acknowledgement? We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah. I'd like to take this time to acknowledge that we're sitting on the unceded land of the Silks First Nation people. We're unwelcome guests.
And
perpetrators of 75% genocide.
Of our listeners just dropped off.
And I had to do that because I will be going to court and I will be sued by the federal government and probably put in prison for the rest of my life for what I've said. As a white man.
Yeah, today, listen. Dan's not here.
He's gone.
Which means everyone knows this show has been 100% floated by some backdoor funding from the Clintons.
Of course.
And that's why Dan has been they launder the money through Dan. And that's why he's like, we can't talk about the Clintons. We can't talk about the Clintons. Well, Dan ain't here. So guess what?
We're talking
about the Clintons.
Talking.
Pretty.
Talking body counts, not the fun kind.
Yeah. I mean, both legendary numbers.
Yeah, he's got some numbers for sure.
I mean, this is a staple in the conspiracy world. If you dabble in conspiracy, if you've looked up anything, you've come across. I mean, it's pretty mainstream now. Trump during campaigns has made reference to it. Political parties have been like, "Where was Hillary that weekend?" Like it's kind of mainstream now. Before we saw, because people are like, this is crazy, and there's no way. It's like it's an astronomical number of like associates that are directly linked to these people.
There's 50 names, somewhat connected, maybe not all connected, but at least 50 names that have died under mysterious circumstances. A lot of times,
by like suicide by tying themselves to a tree and then shooting themselves in the head.
Yeah.
That's pretty normal, isn't it?
In the back of the head. And the other thing you got to remember too is that like before we begin, I just want to point out like when you're thinking about this and some of the cases we're talking about today, are some of them loosely connected? Sure, maybe, right? We'll give that, but it's the number of them where it's like, could some of these? And you got to remember with the Clintons, like we've talked about Bill before. And his shady dealings.
Boys on the tracks.
Boys on the track, man.
Yeah.
2 kids were killed allegedly for seeing a drug smuggling operation that Bill Clinton basically oversaw.
Kevin Ives and Don Henry.
Yeah, when Bill Clinton was the governor of Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Wait, have we done a case on those guys?
Fucking
Yes, we
rights
did. Years ago.
Boys on the Tracks,
Early.
right?
Yeah, Boys on the Tracks.
Yeah. Okay.
And like he's linked.
All
He's-
based on the Clinton Chronicles. That's
Yeah.
I think that's where it originated from.
Boys, we also forgot to do one more acknowledgement.
Is this the running? I like it.
I acknowledge that these are what we're about to talk about tonight are allegations, not proven facts, but demand scrutiny. And please don't kill me.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Oh yeah. Let's,
No,
okay.
alleged. Just we're presenting the facts as the internet has presented them to us. So
Just if you're
uh,
gonna do it, make it quick.
so Bill and Hillary, if you're listening, just leave us alone, all right?
You know
Or
what? Don't even
make
make
it
it quick.
quick,
I
yeah.
just want to feel something. You know?
Yeah.
Wait, I got one more.
Okay.
Trigger warning for all.
I'm done. I'm done for now.
And like that being said, like again, the Clintons, you know, if you're supporters of theirs, whatever, you know this, but they lie. They lie. Of
course.
100%.
Well, it's fact.
Caught.
That's
Fact.
fact. Like
Bill,
every other politician.
What
Bill,
politician
I
doesn't
did not
lie?
have sexual relations with that woman.
woman.
Which
He's an
one,
Lie
Bill?
detector.
Proven
Which one,
adulterer. He's been
The lie detector came back.
Things that we
Determined.
do know is that
That was a lie.
he's lied under oath. He's an adulterer. We know that he has multiple sexual assault allegations as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Like,
it's
just like
wild to me that he's like the president that left office with the highest approval rating, but he's probably got the longest rap sheet out of all these fucking people, and that's including Trump.
yeah, and like just the weirdest shit too, like inviting girls into a hotel room and then just dropping drawer and said kiss it.
Touch it.
Give the kiss.
Dude, that's a bold move. That's a man.
remember
that's a
fucking-
man with confidence.
Remember Giuliani? He did something similar to that, didn't he?
Giuliani, dude, that
Yeah.
guy looks like a scrotum.
He always looks like he's
doing
melting.
that? Yeah, he did that. He looks like an old candle.
Yeah. Well, didn't
Found its last
Borat get
legs.
him? Wasn't that what happened?
I think so. I think he got him, but he didn't do anything though in the movie though. But he almost did.
Yeah.
It was definitely going down that route.
All right, you guys want to get into this or what?
Well, hold on. One other thing is like, and then Hillary on the Hillary side, if you're looking at that, like you think about Benghazi, all the deleted emails, like that
Crazy.
she like right, like this
Crazy.
shit's
She's
crazy.
the fucking. She's Attorney General, right? Attorney General, Governor
I don't
General.
remember.
Those are my
Governor
personal
General?
emails. So
Governor
I didn't want them out there, and I wanted.
Then why are you using your personal email?
I just
That's
wanted to
crazy.
delete them.
You're going to tell me that she didn't have a work email that she could have used?
I'm
But
sure
said
she,
she-
she probably had a couple highly secure work emails.
And then she deletes something like 33 fucking thousand emails that she says are, personal, had nothing to do with work.
Well, listen, she's a busy lady. It's a lot of emails to go through. If you're not sure where you sent it, so you just delete them all. Just cover your bases.
Yeah, these emails weren't important. They were just about hot dogs and pizzas and fucking.
Hey, we can't talk about that, all right?
Easy. We're not
I
allowed.
acknowledge that the Pizzagate case was the first case to get us taken off of YouTube back in the day.
Was it?
Oh,
It was
yeah.
probably the start
For
of our
sure,
descent.
dude. That was the start of the
downfall.
end.
And I love how people are starting to come back to it. They're like, you know what? Maybe that's not so crazy.
No, just like conspiracy theorists. They've been proven a little true over the pandemic. Now people are allowed to talk about it again, but for about 4 years, you couldn't say shit.
At the end of the day, though, we got a list of fucking 50-some people. Where there's smoke, there's got to be a little bit of fire.
Always,
Yeah.
dude.
How many? Like over under, there's got to be at least 10 on that list.
Well, again,
Has
if
to
you're
be.
thinking about it, these are uber powerful people,
Ublers.
well connected, with like, and not only themselves, but like they have the backing of like the political machine. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's probably people whose vested interests are to keep mud and dirt off these people because they're front runners in a political party, in a two-party system.
The political game is so savage like that. You got to make deals to climb to the top of the political game. The backroom deals you got to make. If you're making
100%.
and you're making a salary of 200 grand, 300 grand at the most, and then you come out of politics worth $100 million. You're
man.
like, okay, no one's that good of an investor.
Well, and it's crazy because you look at it, you look at all the stuff like I talked about earlier with the sexual assaults and everything. Like this guy's fucking Teflon. Nothing,
Nothing, dude.
dude. Even when he got impeached,
after that, his approval rating went up.
His approval rating went up, and they overturned it. They were like, "Yeah, no, we're overturning everything. You're good." Right out into the sunset.
Bill being Bill.
Yeah, boys being boys. You know what? Hey, Bill got a blowy in this Oval Office.
I mean,
nice.
Yeah.
If you're gonna abuse powers, I mean, that's the way to fucking do it.
Yeah, and I like. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, who we?
All right, let's start off.
We're not going through all 50. We're going through more of the juicy ones.
Oh no, I'm going through everything, boys. I got it all.
I think there's about
stone.
There's about 10 or 12 that are like the meaty ones, and there's a whole bunch more.
But I got a whole bunch. I got everything. We're doing it all. Buckle up.
All right.
1977. Suzanne Coleman, age 26, had an affair with Clinton while he was the Attorney General of Arkansas. Died of suicide with a gunshot wound to the back of her head. No autopsy was allowed. Was 7 months pregnant at the time of her death. She had she had told friends it was Bill Clinton's child. Oh, so that's the first one that we track back to. And I wonder it's interesting because in 77, I wonder who the medical examiner was at the time. I wonder if it was Fahmy Malek, our boy.
Where is it? Medical
examiner, Arkansas. Well, just type in Fahmy Malek. He's super popular. He's the guy that he did Kevin Ives and Don Henry's autopsies.
When is it? 1977. I don't know. I can't see it.
Brain's no Jamie, right? He's doesn't have one hand typing skills, you know.
Oh, dude, I'm chicken pecking over here.
All the right type. We got
everyone knows the best way to kill yourself with a gunshot wound is through the back of the head.
Yeah, it's easy.
You know, you gotta reach it all the way around.
Especially rifle shot to the back of the head.
Well, everyone knows you attach a string to the trigger, you prop it up against the wall, and then you lean up, and then you pull the string. It's easy.
Yeah, easy piece.
Nothing to look at here.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can't believe we're even doing this case.
Gotta be fucking MacGyver to suicide yourself.
I mean, and it's an interesting, like, to go through that suicide, like, back of the head. I mean, it's an interesting way. That's just, it would raise suspicion to me, and the fact that there's no medical, because they're just like, suicide. We don't have to do any kind of autopsy. Why? Case closed. It would make sense to me that there was, like, he's so powerful, right, and so well connected that if there, I can't find it, but I'm curious if it was Malek.
I guarantee you it was Malek, and not only that, it's like you look at it, and I think it's 1977. They've been Hillary and Bill have been married for 2 years. Steps out in the first couple of years, get somebody pregnant. Obvious, you gotta do it. You gotta get rid of her. He's got career aspirations. He's wanting bigger and better things. You can't be having a fucking child out of wedlock, with a mistress. Got her taken care of.
Dude, what about in the same year, his dentist, Jeffrey Wise, allegedly had an affair with Hillary. He died. A small plane crash.
Is this a little tit for tat?
I didn't hear that.
You know what I
That's
mean?
Crazy.
That's an ever interesting one because I read that, but I didn't connect the two of like, if it's like, well, how about they're having a lover's quarrel. They're like, well, I'm going to fucking kill your mistress.
Well, that one is not really part of the list because it's a small plane crash. It's not a shot in the back of the head. It's like, and he was a known, like he was a known pilot, flew all the time. He had an accident.
You know what's interesting though is when you look at this, like right from the jump, they were kind of touted as this like up and coming power couple, right? With aspiring goals, both of them, right? She's a lawyer. He's getting into politics, and it makes you wonder. It's like most of Bill's problems, like I'll get into another one really quick, they're all sexual related, right? Like he seems like
it's a little bit of a deviant.
He's a bit of a deviant, right? And it's like if you were forced to get into this marriage because you're supposed to be this fucking power couple that are going to accomplish big things politically, right? It kind of, it kind of goes hand in hand. It's interesting. And then, so we got Judy Gibbs, 32-year-old penthouse model and call girl. Appeared in a December 1979 issue of Penthouse and later worked at a bordello near Mena, Arkansas. We're going to be talking about Mena a lot. She also ran a blackmail operation with photos taken of customers with their girls. According to Gibbs' family, Bill Clinton was a regular customer of Judy's, and there were photos of him having sex with her that threatened his presidential campaign. While cooperating with law enforcement in a drug investigation, Judy died when her house was burned to the ground. No cause for the fire was found. Judy had called the fire department to report the fire, but her body was found on the floor in front of the rear window. Clinton bodyguard Barry Spivey related how he had been with the governor when the governor's plane had flown over Judy Gibbs' house, and Clinton had shown Judy's penthouse photos on the plane and pointed to the house.
Wow.
Malik was 1979. He was appointed
Okay.
chief medical examiner.
Chief medical examiner. He was probably working in there before he got elected.
But exactly, part of me thinks that
that's what he did
was
to
he
get
doing?
elected.
What
That's
did
what he
do
got
to
to
get
get
elected? Right, because he was probably obviously in Arkansas at the time, making a name for himself.
In 86, we got probably the most prolific, one of the most prolific names on this list. And we've definitely talked about this guy. I don't know if we've had a dedicated case file to him, but old Barry Seal. Fucking, you know what I'm talking about, right? Barry Seal. Tom Cruise portrayed him.
Yeah.
CIA drug pilot, now known to be a gun and drug smuggler for the CIA operating out of the Mena airport. Barry Seal had reportedly kept in contact with Bill Clinton's head of security at the governor's mansion, Raymond Buddy Young, the ex-rodeo clown who is now the number 2 at FEMA. Following his fall from the CIA, Barry was sentenced to live at Salvation Army housing complex by a judge who had prohibited Barry Seal to either have any guns or employ any bodyguards. Corruption doesn't become any more obvious than this. Barry was gunned down with a machine gun fire in a parking lot behind the Salvation housing complex.
Not shady at all.
Not shady.
And the only thing I'll say about him is
I remember
he
that
had a
being
fucking shitload of dirt
on a lot of people.
On a lot of people, including the CIA, which is not good for your health.
Well,
if you have dirt on the CIA and you kept files and records of you doing illicit activities on their behalf.
From what I understand too, I think it's been previously attributed to the cartels is why he was fucking killed. But I mean, that's an easy scapegoat, I'd imagine.
It is an easy scapegoat, but at the same time, it does track because he was also fucking double dipping and fucking over the cartels and like selling to the cartels. So it's like that one is like one where it's like there's a lot of people that could have been interested in having him dead. So I could see that people are like, is it Clinton? Maybe not. But he's got a perfect cover for any. He's got a perfect cover for any one of those groups to off him and be like, and just point the finger at the other.
Yeah,
like that's how much dirt that guy had.
Yeah, absolutely. And then 1987, greatest year of all. You want to rehash a little bit of the Boys in the Track just for anybody who hasn't.
Yeah, it's been a while since we did that case.
So what happens is these kids get hit by a train. Fahmy Malik, who we talked about, he says that
I don't
it's
even
an
think
accident.
they ended up getting hit by the train, did they?
Well, he said they did.
Well, they were so the initial cause of death was that they passed out from smoking too much pot on the fucking train tracks.
That's according to Malik. Malik said they must have smoked the equivalent of 20 marijuana cigarettes and fell asleep.
Ooh, the boys is crazy.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
I couldn't do it. That's a lot of weed.
And he said based on his expertise and the autopsy, that's what it found. The parents ordered a second one because they're like, that is insane. And the second autopsy done by Georgia examiner was like, hey, it shows they had the equivalent of like maybe one like one joint in their system.
Not only that, they had one joint in their system, but they also have a bunch of stab wounds in their back.
Yeah.
With legitimately.
Like knife.
That's also from the weed, though.
Must be.
Everyone knows
that goddamn razor weed
makes you stab your buddies in the back.
Oh, they got fucking reefer madness.
100%,
stab each
man.
other a bunch.
That
all
shit's,
Slenderman
it's
style.
deadly, man.
Yeah. Okay.
So the deaths were ruled at first accidental, and then it was changed to probable homicide. But it looked to be heavily covered up. And I don't have all of it on me, but what it looks to be is that the boys had unknowingly, walking the tracks, witnessed basically drug drops, and were killed and placed on the tracks. All while under, and this was apparently like heavily involved with government agencies and local government doing these drops.
Well, this is right by that Mina air base, right? That we just talked about with Barry Seal, where they were doing drug drops potentially, but we know that like this airport was a key fucking area for like the Iran Contra, importing, exporting all the guns and shit like that. Like this is an infamous airbase.
And basically it was all covered up to basically save face for everyone involved, because it's police department, air base, government officials.
They speculate that the sheriff and like the sheriff's deputies are the ones that did it.
Yeah. And placed them on the track. So we did a case file on it. Like we're doing a rough, but it's like it's all crazy. Roads on that one lead to Bill Clinton knowing about this drug trafficking as he's prominently actively fighting against drug trafficking.
Well, it's the CIA is operating out of that base, right? Like we know that's fact at this point.
Fact.
And the governor has no idea.
Except there's people with the head of his security, like with intimate knowledge, talking back and forth. So it's like, you don't think the head of security is briefing the fucking governor?
Of course.
Right?
No, governor's he doesn't got time for that. He's chasing tail.
He's chasing all the fucking tail, man. Old Bill, man. That guy's a fucking poonhound, that dude.
Part of me has wondered this, and I was thinking about this earlier, this case file. If the political system like this isn't, we think of like Bill Clinton, and he's one man, and he's going to run for president. But really what it is Bill Clinton is the figurehead of a small operation of people that work around him, trying to get Bill, the figurehead of this group, into power so they can rule. You know what?
He pulls them all with him.
So he pulls them all with him. And so they're just basically like Bill Clinton's just their useful idiot. Like they're fucking big dummy. That this group around him kind of pushes him and shields him as they try to push for power.
Yeah.
And then obviously, so we have the two main figureheads of that story, the two kids, and then there's like fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There's a
seven
few other
7 more fucking
potential
people.
Witnesses who die in like a motorcycle crash, car crashes.
Guy gets rear-ended on his motorcycle. A guy gets shot, or a guy gets stabbed 129 times
accidentally.
Which guy was that? Because I think it was Keith Coney was the guy on the motorcycle. There was Keith McCaskill, another witness, died in a car crash. Gregory Collins, he was linked to the investigation. He's dead. Like there.
Yeah, Jeffrey Rhodes, his body was found in a trash dump. He was burned and had a gunshot wound to the head and somewhere and there was some body mutilation. I'm trying to find the guy that was stabbed 1 million times.
Like so many people connected to the Clintons dying, car crashes, plane crashes, gunshot wounds. But that's all totally normal. I know at least 0 people who've died of a gunshot wound.
Keith McCaskill witnessed the Don Henry and Kevin Ives murders in Arkansas. Well, obviously Clinton was governor, had information on the Mina drug running and Henry and Ives murder, stabbed 113 times. He was told, he had told his family someone was out to kill him and told them goodbye prior to his death.
Ruled suicide.
Suicide.
I don't know what it was.
No, it says murder,
probably
stabbing.
Yeah,
I mean, if it was only 112 stabbing.
A cold case though, right?
Yeah, it's 100% cold case.
Cold case. So like just that one case alone, there's like fucking 8
deaths to that one thing.
Yeah.
Connected to the boys on the track.
Oddly enough, too, we talked about boys on track. They also attribute Danny Casolaro death
Octopus
to the Clinton
conspiracy. Yeah.
Yeah. They kind of include that in. We did another case file on that. The
syndicate. Yeah. The octopus.
Investigatory journalist who slit his wrists in the bed or in the bathtub, which I still say that's just no guy's doing that. Nobody wants their little bird shriveled and floating in the fucking.
No, that's the last thing you want to see.
You never. Ever.
Yeah.
No.
You take the gun.
and just do it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, back of the head, make everyone question it.
Right. So if you're curious about that too, you can go listen to that case file.
Or you kill yourself, you chop yourself up into little tiny pieces and you put yourself in a bag somehow.
Yeah, suitcase.
Yeah, that's reasonable. We got Colonel James Sabot, age 51, supposedly about to blow the whistle on drug running activity taking place on the naval base where he was stationed. Colonel James Sabot was found by his wife in the backyard of their home and his head blown off with a shotgun. The Navy ruled it a suicide. In all, more than 40 deaths by individuals concerned with drug trafficking on military bases have been declared as suicides despite evidence that murder was
It's insane. That's an insane stat line there. It's like, and this is people like in the military that been like see something and they're like, whoa, this is illegal and this is what we're supposed to be not doing, and reporting it and then just dying. They're like, you know what? I'd just rather kill myself.
Dude, there's so many people connected to Clinton and the killings that in Arkansas that they named it the Arkansas pattern.
Yeah, it's
crazy. It's like, it makes you wonder, right? Let's say he was chosen, and it sounds like he was chosen and groomed to get into politics at a young age, right? He was at the White House as a kid, right? All that type of shit. And it's like, it makes you really wonder if this had happened, let's say within the last 10 years, he had this political rise, but with like social media and the way we can share information, so much easier. Do you think he would have stood a fucking chance if his name was being mentioned with any of this shit nowadays?
Well, I mean, we have a current model similar in Trump is just like Teflon. You can't say anything about that guy.
Yeah, but he's grabbing pussies. He's not fucking killing kids and putting them on tracks, right? Like this is.
Well, I mean, he's still
different.
in power. Wait till he gets out. Maybe some stuff will come out.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. On the set of fucking Home Alone, he diddled Kevin McAllister.
Turns out Kevin McAllister didn't make he was groomed to go to New York. This is all part of child trafficking.
Yeah. We got Gary Johnson, age 51, witnessed in Jennifer Flowers' case, beaten near death and left for dead. Someone in Clinton's organization sent 3 goons to beat up and almost murder Gary, who was Jennifer Flowers' neighbor. Gary had a security camera installed at his condominium, and by chance, he had many tapes of Bill entering Jennifer's condominium while Governor was married to Hillary. Come on, boys.
Just coincidence.
Think so?
Yeah. Has to be.
Well, we can go through like how many people, like right now off the top of your head, how many people could someone, if someone was writing an article, loosely link and be like, well, that was a weird death and they dealt with this guy. Like how many could you attribute to you?
To me personally?
Yeah.
0. 1 maybe?
I can think of 3 off the top of my head. I'm bully in middle school who was a bully. Wound up, they found him hanged.
Who was that?
Alleged suicide. Allegedly. Michael. His name was Mike. I don't remember his last name.
Michael.
But he was a bully.
Mike Blaze?
No. It wasn't Mike Blaze. I don't remember.
I remember
his
he's a
last
West Side kid. I fucking hated
him. Yeah,
I got in a fight with him in a football game one time.
That guy
a weird
was a
dude.
piece of garbage.
He was a massive piece of shit.
Wait, is he dead? Mike Blaze?
No. Well, probably.
I'm not sure.
And then probably 4 years ago, a guy on the street pulled a knife and said, I'm going to fucking stab you to death. And I stood there and I went, I don't want any trouble. And then that guy shot and killed later that day.
Dead.
All right? Messed with me. I'm just saying. Right? And then I have one other person that told me he was going to, same thing on the street, maybe a homeless guy, kind of looked homeless. He said to me,
Unhoused.
I'm going to introduce you to God. And I said, oh, fentanyl overdose.
Yeah, but
Not
sure he
2
wasn't one
hours
of
later.
those like Hare Krishnas or something like that.
I'm
trying
just
to
saying.
get you
So
to,
you could do 3. 3
was
to
he
me,
holding a
right?
sign saying like God saves?
No.
Fix
You
you?
sure he didn't want to just
No.
come in for like some tea and coffee and some crackers and tell you about God?
I think he was going to strangle me. That's the vibe I got from his crazy eyes. And then fentanyl overdose. So it's like, I mean, to be fair to the Clintons. I'm sure like they are very well connected. But at some point you're going like, okay, like there's three to me. I can think of three where it's like, but those are loose and kind of they're tongue in cheek.
I mean, they're loose in the fact because you didn't know anything about these people. You had no idea who they were. It's not even close to the same thing.
That's true. I didn't have I didn't know their names.
If these fuckers were like, one was like your gardener and another one was the maid, and now these people are dropping
the other
dead.
one was Colonel Mustard with the candlestick.
Then we have a case. Then you got a case there. Like now you're a suspect, but you never met these people before, and then they died.
Where else are we on this? Where else are we on this list?
Bill Wiltshire, Washington attorney investigating gun running out of Mena, Arkansas, found dead on a toilet in his Washington apartment. Happens a lot, I will say. No cause of death was ever reported by the coroner. At the time of his death, he was investigating connection. Well, usually, like what happens is,
just like the king, baby.
Little pathophysiology lesson for you. When you're bearing down on the toilet a lot of time, you can have a vagal response. You stimulate your vagus nerve and it can like drop your heart rate to fucking like nothing basically. And you stop perfusing blood and a lot of people die that way.
Really? Oh, yeah. That's why I make sure to hold a diet where I never have to strain.
So your shits are completely liquid.
You got a bottle of Metamucil behind you right now. So yada yada. He at the time of his death, he was investigating connections between the October surprise during the 1980 federal election campaign and drug and gun running out of Mena, Arkansas, as well as BAFTA assault on Waco, Texas branch. He was planning on producing a television documentary on his findings. He had delivered a 105-page affidavit to Janet Reno detailing the evidence he had collected regarding the drugs connections at Mena just 3 weeks before his death. So again, Mena Airport, which we know...
Like shit happened there.
We
know that was legit.
Clinton's fucking brother was found guilty of running drugs at this fucking airport. For fuck's sake.
Well, he had nothing to do with that.
John Augustus Wilson, former Washington, D.C. council member. Wilson claimed to have info on Whitewater, a political controversy that began with the real estate dealings of Bill and Hillary Clinton and their associates, Jim and Susan McDougal in the Whitewater Development Corporation, a failed business venture in the 1970s and 1980s, and was willing to talk, found hanged, declared a suicide.
I mean, that's a tough one. I'm thinking
get a good autopsy on that, just like Epstein was hanged as well. But
I doubt it because fucking we got our good old fucking boy Fahmy Malik running the fucking show now.
Especially anything in Arkansas after 1979. It's I'm surprised it wasn't attributed to marijuana cigarettes.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean.
That guy might be the most corrupt. Like is there any way that he went back into the fucking past and did JFK's autopsy as well? Like, this guy's a massive
dude. He must have studied under the guy that did JFK.
Seriously, like,
he's like, hey, this guy looks like he had 50 marijuana cigarettes.
What was wrong with JFK? He just got shot, wasn't it? That was fun.
No, he had he had a hole in his neck that there was a trach.
That's fake news.
Oh, crazy!
They rushed his brain away.
Yeah, they took his brain. His brain is in the glass container underneath Disneyland, cryogenically flipped.
He's still alive, just his head. His head's still there.
Bill Shelton, age not reported, Arkansas State Trooper, Kathy Ferguson's fiance.
Arkansas.
Did I say Arkansas?
No, I'm just saying it's another Arkansas.
Oh, Arkansas.
Like, we're not even into like he's holding real power yet.
We're like in the 80s right now.
This is like him cleaning house, getting ready for a presidential run. That's what's happening here.
Gunshot behind the ear at Ferguson's gravesite. Left note saying, "I can't stand it anymore." Local police chief says it puts a big question in your mind. Why? Kathy Ferguson, the fiance, gunshot to the head. Death came 5 days after her ex-husband, Danny Ferguson, was named as a co-defendant in the Paula Jones lawsuit. Left suicide note, but body was found in her living room next to packed bags as though she was planning to take a trip. A bullet hole behind the left ear, execution style, although she was right-handed and found with a gun in her right hand.
Dude, left ear, but gun in right hand? Is that what we just said?
Yeah. But the gunshot was to the left, so she would have shot with her wrong hand. And I'm just saying, like,
That's not so. But her gun was in the right hand, but she was shot in the left side.
In the left, behind the left ear.
Yeah,
so a sloppy plant job. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, the old reach
now
around.
with these guys, all 4 members had escorted Clinton on his flight to the carrier Roosevelt shortly before their deaths. Staff Sergeant Brian D. Haney, age 32, Clinton bodyguard. Helicopter crash in the woods near Quantico. Reporters banned from the site, but the fire department chief reported security tight with lots of Marines with guns. Videotape made by firefighter seized by Marines. Major William S. Barclay Jr., Clinton bodyguard, helicopter crash as well. Reports barred from the site. More of the same. So these guys all died in the same fashion.
Just helicopter crash.
Yeah.
No, that's why I always say this. I'm on record saying this. A good aircraft mechanic is really important.
And then here's another one. You got military bodyguard and escorts. 5 former Clinton bodyguards died in a crash of an E-2C Hawkeye in Italy. The crash occurred shortly after a plane was waved off from a landing attempt on the carrier Roosevelt due to foul deck. All 5 men had been Clinton's escorts during Clinton's visit to the Roosevelt two weeks prior. Like, that's think about, honestly though, like, it's insane.
A lot in a short span.
This is fucking crazy. That many dead people already.
Yeah, and we're not even in the 90s.
Well, we're in the early 90s now.
So 4 bodyguards all at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, Clinton, you know what happened? Clinton and the boys were running train on someone, and he had to get rid of the evidence.
Or they were fucking tossing a couple Bruceys back, sharing war stories, and old Billy shared a couple stories he shouldn't have been fucking sharing.
I mean, he would be the guy to do
Halfway
that,
through
all red-faced.
They take off. He makes one call. He's like,
ugh.
It's got a maintenance problem.
Yeah.
Blown up.
It's fucking crazy, man.
There's
92.
At what point do you just be like, really? Like, none of these are ever been investigated, right? They're all, you go on Snopes. The earliest Snopes debunking's like 83. Debunk everything. All happenstance, all coincidence. These people.
Or case closed.
Case closed, yeah.
Or unsolved and just left
cold
at
case,
that.
yeah.
Case closed. Yeah, cold case.
All right. This is way too many. I'm getting to the important ones.
Okay.
This is too many. This is outrageous.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Vince Foster, Deputy Chief, White House Counsel.
Here we go.
Circumstances found dead from a gunshot wound, ruled suicide by multiple investigators, believed to have been murdered due to his knowledge of Clinton-related scandals. Which ones? Good
Sexual.
question. Probably his multiple affairs. Is that something that, like, we haven't really touched on that, but you look at, let me find it. I wrote them down because there's a fucking shit ton. You've got, okay, so.
Well, the Vince Foster one's fucking crazy because there wasn't that was like no gunshot residue on his hands.
Yeah.
Files missing from his office. There, like, the note was a forgery. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff with that one.
It's crazy, but like, you look at this guy, it's nothing but scandals though. Like, you look into it, you've got fucking, obviously you got one of the most famous of all time, Monica Lewinsky. You've got Jennifer Flowers from the 1980s to early 1990s. She was an Arkansas state employee and nightclub singer. They had a 12-month-long affair, or sorry, a 12-year-long affair. Dolly Kyle Browning, affair with her, Elizabeth Grayson, and then you've got actual people, Juanita Broadwick, swearing under oath that they were sexually assaulted by him. Paula Jones, the one that wrote that big ass fucking letter.
The handwritten letter, right?
The handwritten letter that you said, like, give it a kiss when he pulled his pants down. She was working at a hotel. He approached her. Kathleen Wiley, groping and unwanted sexual advances, right? Like, so.
That's the documented sexual stuff. Like,
that's legit.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking.
And then this one, I love this one. This one, Mary Mahoney. Mary Mahoney, friends with Monica Lewinsky. She's a White House intern around the same time in the late 90s. She quit.
Jumping all the way to the late 90s?
No, dude, we got Jerry Parks. We got other people.
Tons of fucking
we were jumping
stuff.
around. Oh,
well, we can jump around too. There's no rules.
Okay.
So we'll go Jerry Parks then. Jerry Parks is a good one.
head of the security of the Clintons in the 1992 campaign, shot multiple times while driving in Little Rock, Arkansas, was allegedly compiling a dossier on Clinton's activities. Basically, like that's when where his son basically said, like, my dad
it was alleged that he had like a list of people the Clintons wanted gone, and he was compiling evidence against Clinton. It's like he was going to bring to court.
His son Gary had come out and been like, yeah, my dad was like, had told me that he was actively had information, was collecting information, and was in the middle of attempting to blackmail the Clintons. He wasn't a good guy, and he was doing these things, and now he's dead. And he told me about them. He told me that he was doing them.
This is another really interesting one. 1993, Edward Eugene Willie Jr. or Wiley Jr. Does that name Wiley sound familiar? Because I just mentioned it. Yeah, this was the guy. This is fucking Kathleen Wiley's husband. The guy that, so she was sexually assaulted by Clinton on the same day that this guy was fucking found dead with a gunshot wound.
Oh.
That's fucking weird.
That's not connected at all.
That's fucking crazy, though.
That's not connected.
No. You got 1996, Ron Brown, U.S. Secretary of Commerce, died in a plane crash in Croatia, believed to be on the verge of testifying against the Clintons. Death viewed as orchestrated.
Some people even say that one, I mean, it's probably Reddit, but that he also had a gunshot wound in the autopsy on the body recovery.
Yes,
so
on the top of his head, right?
Like dead before he hit the ground in the plane.
He had a gunshot wound on the top of his head. Braden, you want to get into Mary Mahoney a little bit here?
Oh, Mary Mahoney. So, like, we all know the Monica Lewinsky scandal and all these issues with the interns. So, Mary Mahoney was an intern at the White House, friends with Monica during this time where Monica was having the affair with Clinton.
So, obviously, Mahoney knows deets.
Knows about it.
They're fucking
100%. She leaves. She starts to work at Starbucks in Georgetown, in Washington, D.C., And so the Monica Lewinsky scandal is from, like, I think 96 to March or April of 1997. And then the summer of 97, a man walks into the Starbucks that Mary Mahoney's working at.
This Father's Day at Lowe's, score free gifts for the greatest dad. Right now, get a free select DeWalt, Craftsman, or Cobalt tool with purchase of a select battery kit. Plus, get a free Werner 2-foot aluminum ladder when you buy an 8-foot fiberglass ladder. Shop these deals and more this Father's Day at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Mary's working behind the counter. This person walks up, this armed robber walks up. She's not the person greeting customers. She's working just over brewing something, whatever. The person comes in, looks to her, says, "What's your name?" She gets scared. He's pointing the gun, reaches for the gun. He shoots her twice. He turns, shoots two other employees, and leaves. And they said it was an armed robbery gone bad. And they're like, he didn't take anything.
Nothing.
He didn't
Not even
try
a
to
fucking
take
Americano.
Well, that's why it went bad, because she reached for the gun. He freaked out. He shot her. He's like, and they freaked out, shot two more people, and then ran away. Went wrong. Case closed.
Yeah. It's insane.
Of all the
you're
places to rob to a
Starbucks. What are you going to get out of Starbucks till?
Yeah, 100%. It's
pack of nice roasted beans.
Well, and the fact that, like, some of the reports was that what's your name?
Yeah,
before
put the
she
money
reached
in
for
the bag
gun.
and some
nothing.
of them fucking cake pops too.
Yeah, she was shot 5 times, not twice. 5 times by the gunman, and then 2 other people were shot once.
Well, he had to empty the clip. He had to keep going.
Yeah, and I don't know. I was trying to look up if they found the murderer, but I think that's
they did. He went to jail. I'm pretty sure somebody went to jail, and then they probably died in jail.
Maybe. But
1998, James McDougal, Clinton's Whitewater real estate partner, died of a heart attack in prison, believed to have been silenced before testifying further in the Whitewater investigation, which was the Clintons and their real estate fucking.
But just one other thing on Mary, Monica, in the lawsuits that followed, that took years and years, in one of the depositions, audio tape was played of Monica Lewinsky saying, "I don't I don't want to end up like Mary. To reporters and investigators.
Here's the thing, though.
You're like,
I can't believe she didn't. That's kind of
she was too public,
It was
dude.
too public.
It's too public
so?
now.
I think
right?
so.
She was the face. It's the same argument with her as it is with.
Yeah, but I'm surprised
That was the second impeachment ever of a sitting president.
But like the fact that it didn't. Oh, I had an affair. He must have kept it under wraps. Pretty good. You know what I mean? Because once they would have, like the people who were pulling the strings would have found out, I think they would have just got rid of her.
Well, maybe because you have an affair, you say a couple things to this girl that you shouldn't have. Like, next thing you know, she's dead. She's Mary in the coffee shop.
He was doing some weird stuff with her too. Didn't he put a fucking dart in her?
I think it's been a while.
I think weird stuff. Yeah. I think he was doing some.
I don't blame Monica Lewinsky, man. A young Bill Clinton was a good-looking guy. All that power,
He's a president.
He's a president of the United States.
A lot of power, good-looking guy. I don't blame her. It ruined her life, but I don't blame her for her decision.
Most famous blowjob of all time. Right?
I mean, there's definitely more than one, but that was the famous one in the Oval Office.
What's a more favorite one? If you had to list famous blowjobs,
No, I mean
that
blowjob. I'm saying he got more than one blowjob
Oh, dude, they had an affair for like
a year.
or a year. Yeah,
I'm not talking about for Bill Clinton. I'm talking globally. Like if you say famous blowjobs,
Like no one. Yeah, I mean that's up there.
known
That's got to be up there.
blowjobs. Monica Lewinsky's got to be number one.
Well, what are
That story.
like famous buildings?
Heather.
The Oval Office of the White House. I mean, that's well known. Like what else? I couldn't tell you another one off the top of my head. Like, oh yeah, someone got a blowjob in.
Yeah, Heather. Yeah,
Heather. For sure.
Oh, Heather Brooks.
Yeah, Heather Brooks, boys. Big time.
Yeah. Big part of
All our childhood LimeWire, baby.
Yeah,
Heather
everyone.
Brooks.
Yeah.
You know how many?
Millennials? Yeah.
Know how many computers are infected with bone crippling viruses from that
Because of
video?
Heather.
It's your fault, Heather.
What a saint.
Yeah.
She introduced the world to a whole new
helping
style.
young boys become men.
Yeah.
Whole new style.
Fucking right. 2016, Seth Rich, DNC staffer, shot and killed in Washington, D.C. Police suspect robbery. Theorized he was the source of the DNC email links and was murdered to prevent further disclosures.
But wasn't there not any known like stolen items on the robbery? I think that was part of it. Like suspected robbery, but they couldn't say what was stolen. Like they didn't really know. So if something was stolen, it was so obscure that it wasn't missed.
You want to get into the emails a little bit? Because we're starting 2016. Bill's now become somewhat fucking irrelevant. We've now started to get into Hillary here.
Yeah.
More so.
Well, she's becoming more prominent now.
Yeah.
Well, so this is after she ran for president.
Yeah. And lost.
Oh, Andrew, she had the popular vote. Okay, so
She did have the popular vote.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the thing we kind of talked about before. Is like this was kind of the first time where, as an outside observer, like you would have thought going into this presidential election, what's his name had this in the bag. Bernie, right? Like this was Bernie's year. Like he had.
Oh, as the front runner for the
Democratic Party, and then it seemed like just Hillary just was like the old guard was just like Hillary
stripped. Yeah, they stripped him of that and then inserted Hillary.
Right, and then it kind of seems what we talked about before. Like there's like a group of people that like it's not like Hillary is this independent person. There's like a group that is just putting the figurehead.
It's not just Bill who's in on the killings. I would say.
No,
absolutely not.
Hillary's stuck with us through her husband with all these like affairs and all these mistresses he's had. She's in on it.
Mutual self-destruction. They have the
you,
best mutual self-destruction.
I think they were placed together for a reason. People higher up than we can fucking imagine put them together. There's a reason why old Bill was out chasing fucking everything he could. Like these people were together because it was more of a business deal. Yeah,
it's more of a story.
That's why she just turned a blind eye.
Even when Bill ran, he basically said, he's like, you're basically getting two presidents.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Like he said, right? It's just, I don't know. But yeah, so like the WikiLeaks, they leaked like 20,000 internal DNC emails, right?
Yep.
Something
like that.
fucking crazy.
A lot.
And that's where we get into Podesta and everything too, right?
Well, yeah, so they leaked that, and Julian Assange hinted at his involvement, and next thing you know, Seth Rich is dead.
And his family's never accepted like that. They think something shady's gone on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There was shady shit in the emails too. Like that's when they, like the DNC basically admitted that they were choosing Hillary and not Bernie. Like they were going to back fucking Hillary over Bernie, right?
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what? It's been a while since we talked about what else came out in those emails that was just like, besides the Pizzagate stuff, which we can't talk about.
Cozy relations between DNC staff and media figures, fundraising strategies that blurred lines between the Clinton campaign and the DNC, communications showing lobbyists access and donor favoritism. Podesta emails revealed internal campaign strategies, political damaging quotes from Clinton's paid Wall Street speeches, staff concerns over Clinton's email server, and other vulnerabilities.
Boom. So not good.
Not good, Bob.
Wasn't good.
Not good.
It's not. Yeah, it's a bad look for this. But those emails to me point to more of like it's a racket. You know what I mean? Like it's a group of it's organized crime is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? For sure,
right?
dude.
100%.
It's the deep state. We talk about the deep state, right? And who are the deep state?
And I know we say Clinton kill list, but again, I don't necessarily attribute it just to the Clintons. I think it's the groups
the political machine.
They might not have no idea of anything about it on purpose. Whoever did it or orchestrated.
Plausible deniability.
100%.
Right? And I'm sure there's a, if people dug, there's probably a list on the other side. Not as well connected to these two because you got to think they're a husband and wife that have been in the political eye for so long, active, not retired, active in the eye for 40 years.
And something that's important to point out too, because if we do have any fucking Dans listening right now, we're not doing this because we're anti-democrat whatsoever.
No,
right?
No.
This is just
Canadian.
And we're absolutely good point. This is just one of the crazy. There's just so much here. To think that this is all conspiracy.
There's if you just read through this list and read into the cases, there's so many where there's
the Arkansas stuff is undeniable.
The Arkansas stuff is fucking insane.
It's crazy, and it's you have people coming out and being I remember. I think it was the Clinton Chronicles whenever that was posted. You had people commenting and just being that's how shit is handled in Arkansas. That's how there's nothing alarming here because that's how we deal with stuff, which is crazy.
Yeah. Listen, to jump ahead a little bit too, it's the most famous one on this list. And I only want to bring it up for the reasons Jeffrey Epstein is connected to the Clintons. And this motherfucker is guilty of child sex trafficking, bringing in kids and using them to sleep with and blackmail people in positions of power. Do you think that guy's above having someone murdered? And is that too far? Is that where he draws the line?
And when we say connected, we mean this guy came and visited Bill at the fucking White House over 17 times. How many times was Bill on the plane?
Oh, yeah.
Bill and Hillary. It's right. And a lot of the Epstein victims that have come forward said they would hear from fucking Epstein that, Bill likes him young. Bill likes fucking young girls. Bill, this is all stuff that's fucking been spoken about previously, right?
Dude, that whole case has ended now with Ghislaine Maxwell in prison for child trafficking
to nobody.
Who?
That's insane.
Who? How is that not public information?
And again, look into the death and the circumstances. Because here's where it gets to levels of ludicrous. Because you're looking down this kill list and you're going, okay, so many of these deaths have different discrepancies and people are coincidences, and you're like, yeah, that's a lot of coincidences. You get to Epstein and then you're like, the fucking cameras didn't work on the highest profile convict you had.
Connected
how
to
did
how
that
many
happen?
Powerful people?
His cellmate, the big juiced out ex-cop.
right?
Isn't it like Giovanni something looks like an absolute fucking. You look like a evil The Rock, you know, evil Dwayne
You
Johnson.
look like Bane.
Yeah, exactly, right there, exactly.
And then, not to mention that you look at this and it's like this guy again accused of heinous fucking things, right? Child sex trafficking.
Oh, don't forget about the painting he had in his house.
That's what I was getting to. He had a famous painting in his house on fucking Epstein Pedo Island where he brought all these people, where he brought all these rich and famous people to come and wine and dine them, and he would lure them with child sex slaves and shit. He had a picture at this place for everyone to see of Bill Clinton in a blue dress on the wall.
Was it on the island? Was that on the island?
I thought it was in his.
I thought it was in his actual his
New
house.
York apartment. Or whatever.
I thought it was on the island.
I'm pretty sure it was in his apartment.
house.
Yeah. But still,
What a weird,
Could be wrong,
what a weird
either
fucking
way.
picture. What a weird fucking picture.
Well, then you got George Bush playing with the blocks that look like towers that are getting toppled.
yeah, dude,
It's crazy.
Like you approach like a level of conspiracy that ties it all together when you get to the top of it.
My brain, like this has been so unhealthy for my brain because I'm
Right.
back. I'm full on Carney,
dude,
WEF, Epstein, fucking.
Dude, they're all
slab
connected.
leak.
They're all connected.
On my brain right now.
The fact
wild
that
when you-
there is a girl in prison for sex trafficking they won't release to who is all
Tells you everything you need to know.
Exactly, dude.
Boy, we're fucked. Everything's corrupt. Everything's fucked. It's all over
dude,
for us. That's
Dude,
it.
the more
Why do we have kids? Why do we bring our kids up in this fucking
There is
crazy
such
world?
corruption, I would say, in the political game at the top levels of these people trying to backstab each other and do whatever it takes to get power.
I think that, but at the same time, I honestly think we live in a version of 1984 where there's a separate societies of people, a very small inner party at the top, all these super elites, shadow government, deep state, that they just live in a completely different realm with a different set of laws and rules. And just to keep the peace, someone has to take a fall once in a while, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's that guy. That's Epstein. They kill him. It all gets buried. People turn a blind eye, and people just carry on. Like it's all connected. That's the level of conspiracy I'm at now, where I was like, it's 1984, 99.99% of the population is living under the laws, and there is like almost like a breakaway civilization at the top." That just does whatever the fuck they want. They have all the money, all the power.
Tartarians.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. But real Tartarians.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
They're probably building fucking spaceships to go to Mars.
Yeah.
Because they might even know, oh, yeah, there's a hypothesis coming in 2034. It's going to blow the planet up. We got to get the fuck out of here. Elon Musk is part of it. That's the level of conspiracy I've entered now.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. It just all, and then you get into the fact that all these guys are into fucking curbing populations and everything. And you look at the last fucking how many years and what's been going on. Like, it's fucking nuts. I understand why people are going fucking nuts.
I'm
about to go grab a giant Canadian flag and fucking stick it on the back of my truck and get some decals. Drive around and just honk.
Carney signs now.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm like, this is, boys.
That's where we're at.
What are we supposed to do?
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, again, and what I think is the gripe is, and it's like, the gripe for me is, I'm like, you could put a fucking fuck Carney or a fuck any Democratic president nominee on the back of your truck. But if the vote swings and the other side gets in power, it's the same thing.
It's just as bad.
They're all so fucking connected. You should just switch those fuck the person signs to the next person.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the 1984.
Fuck everybody.
That's the inner party. It's all an illusion. The two sides of the same bird. It doesn't fucking matter.
And again, when you're thinking of, okay, let's think of it like this. So you have Bill Clinton, right? The States is so fucking, their political system is so heavily influenced by
money.
Special interests, right? Groups pushing money to push their agendas. So it's like, not only do you have like a group of like various people in political circles trying to push this person into presidency so they can get their agendas, but you also have huge corporations like Lockheed Martin, public companies that are pushing a certain person to get favorable policies put in place. So it's, again, it could go even worse where it's like, yeah, Bill's oblivious to all this, and maybe part of the government is. But and I'm only saying Lockheed Martin because that's just what I said. But like maybe Lockheed Martin is like, we have investigators that are digging this dirt, and we're taking care of problems because we've already invested too much in backing you that we have to win. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's no turning, but there's no changing foot to the other side now. It's like, no, they have our rivals are on that side and we're on this side and we have to fucking get you in so we win. And that's how it comes. It's just everyone's pushing this person to the top no matter what. It's wild.
It's crazy.
We didn't talk about Mark Middleton. He's recent May 7th 2022. Recent one. He was a businessman and he served as a special advisor to President Bill Clinton in the 90s, and he's an interesting one where he death by suicide by hanging, as well as a shotgun blast to the back, and the shotgun wasn't located right away.
To the shotgun
back
wounds, like the bullet holes. Where is it noticed? Or
yeah, he had a shotgun wound to the back.
They just didn't notice it.
Well, no, they noticed the wound. They didn't notice the shotgun.
A hole in your
They didn't notice the gun anywhere at the crime scene.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Well, that's an easy one, Braden. So you rig it up, right? Hang yourself. We have the string. You pull it. The shotgun kicks. It flies through the window into the bushes.
Yeah, and it's like this stuff is like if you Google this stuff, even Wikipedia, it's hard, like it's limited information on all this stuff. Very limited. It's so hard to track down.
You can go to Snopes.
Yeah.
And you can look at all the debunking of some of the cases. And some of them are like, okay, he had a heart attack. Yes, he was extremely overweight and a drinker. Perhaps. That's what I'm saying. But not every case is probably like, but some of them, like that one, hanging with gunshot wounds. It's almost like they throw it in your face sometimes. So let's say there is this like shadowy like breakaway government civilization that is ruling all. It's like they throw it in your face, like kill him, call it a suicide, but make it obvious it wasn't, but then just gaslight them into saying it was suicide. So they do that.
I wonder like, okay, if there is a group at the top, like you say, would it become something of like?
There is.
Like imagine,
come on, listen to yourself.
I'm just being the hype of that. I truly do believe that there is. But what I'm saying is, if that's the case, do you think it would be like if there's like a group of us and be like, it's now my job to cover one up, and it'd be like, boys, you're gonna love this. And you're like, what do you mean?
I got a good one.
Back? And you're like, suicide. And then you guys are like, there's no way. Like, how risky of you? And you're like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Think about how arrogant you'd have to be to get to that point, though, where it's just like these fucking idiots.
You're trying to one up each other.
Yeah, and you're just making a joke. Like these, even if they do think there's something up, there's nothing they can do.
You know what?
And you know what? If they do start fucking saying something about it, we'll either kill them or put fucking kiddie porn on their computer or call them a fucking conspiracy theorist.
I'm thinking about this all wrong. I don't think we should be thinking of it through that lens. I think we should be looking at it through the lens of a victim, of someone who has information on Bill Clinton, right? And say Mark, right? And you worked with Mark. And you have information on Mark, and the news comes out that he was hung and he's shot in the back, and you're like, I think what it is, it's not that, it's a message. It's a message that, and you're like, because those people, everyone's like, that's a suicide, and the people with information are like, that's a like, they're just calling that. How deep does their power run? Like, I'm not saying anything. Like, I think maybe it's actually message sending.
Yeah,
like that's what they're doing, is they're sending a message like, yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Like, we will kill you and it will be a suicide. We'll get away with it. We have the power. We have the pull.
They sit you down like, listen, this is what we're going to do. This is how you're going to kill yourself, and everyone's going to believe you, even though it's not believable.
Yeah. Like this guy.
It's fucking wild, dude.
Right? Yeah, and hashtag look it up for yourself. Like, take a peek, go down some rabbit holes, because some of these are like full true crime case files that you can go down.
We could do case files on
like 12, 13, 14 of these.
A lot of them,
in the track, you could do a whole fucking episodic. I'm sure there's a podcast mini series on that.
That's crazy. That story.
It's insane,
fucking
dude.
crazy.
right? And all roads lead to the top
We
on that one.
probably didn't do it justice.
No,
Probably
hell
not.
no.
We probably got a
Hell
little
no.
drunk.
Yep.
But like, and why is there no real stories or documentary of Epstein Island? There's
Or
some.
nothing, dude.
There's
There's no
some of like
counts.
the surviving like girls.
Just the
or
victims.
growing
One
up
of them
and
just
stuff.
died. One of the main fucking witnesses
I'm
just
sure
died.
it wasn't suspicious at all.
I think it was suicide.
By 2 gunshot wounds
Well,
to the back of the head.
especially when you get into like the Diddy stuff and all the poisoning now that's coming out, and it's just like,
That's what I mean. There's another one, right? Diddy doing kind of the same stuff, filming people at these Diddy parties.
Did you guys see the rumor that
Blackmailing is like that's the tactic. I'm going to blackmail you. I'm going to trick you. I'm going to get you in here. Going to get you drunk. Maybe a couple drugs. I'm going to tell you the girl's 20. She was 16. Now I got you on video. Now you got to do whatever I say.
I had read a thing that, do you guys remember a little while ago, a couple years ago, when Jamie Foxx like had like a medical scare?
yeah, he was poisoned by Diddy.
Poisoned, yeah.
Yeah. And apparently he's the, like, after that, and he knew he was poisoned by Diddy, he like went to the authorities and it kicked off this RICO case against him. And it's all started by Jamie Foxx, and that's going to come out later.
Well, and then you look at like his ex-wife Kim Porter and stuff that died from the pneumonia, and then Albie Shore died of the similar stuff. And they say that there's type of poisoning that can mimic those symptoms. Like, it's fucking
Like
crazy.
that's how it's hard not to like have distrust in the systems.
And Diddy's got power, but now like political power is a different level.
Oh yeah.
Like government, political power, like,
Well, he's a pawn,
different.
dude.
Like
They're
international
pawns.
power. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean the people who have the real power are not the elected officials.
No.
It's the Jeffrey Epsteins. It's those guys like that with billions. How they get billions of dollars, I have no idea. How do they
He
get
got his fucking mansion for $1.
exactly what kind
Explain that.
I can blackmail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's crazy.
Trick that person into having sex with some 16, 17-year-old girl or younger, who knows?
Or even worse. Just, they do it. They
Just offered
think
it and
they're-
they do it.
They think they're in a position where they're not going to get caught, and they do it. Even worse.
And then they're filmed. Yeah.
Right? And they're like, oh, no one will ever know. And they'll be like, there were secret cameras?
And as you walk out of the room, they go, hey, I want you to take a look at this picture. And just know that I have about 45 minutes of that. And you will now do this list I'm going to give you.
Yeah. And you're
With
going
no
to start working
questions
towards
ever again.
this.
Now you're in. Now you're in the fuck. That's the real octopus conspiracy.
Yeah. And honestly, and that's, and how many people, high-level people are affected by that, of
Like how many
that blackmail?
like judges and stuff? Like what? Like how far does it go to where you don't release who's sex trafficking to who?
Here's,
What does it
here's
have
an
to-
interesting thing. What I'm thinking is, think about when Epstein gets busted, and we know that he must have all these blackmail tapes. That's what it is, and no one's seen them. They haven't seen the light of day. Is that when Epstein goes up, belly up? Is that a power grab for someone or
else?
some group? Right, and that's why these names haven't come up, because why release the names? They're in positions of power, and now we have the fucking best thing to control them ever. Right? You're
Yeah,
like,
somebody just like a hostile takeover. Fucking see
yeah,
you later,
and
bye.
it's like you get a call one day, and you're like, "Hi, yeah, my name's so and so." You're like, "Hi, what can you do?" You're like, "I'm in possession of a interesting videotape of you." That I retrieved. I got it in an inheritance from Mr. Epstein. And then they're like, oh, you're like, and you're like, you will now do X, Y, and Z for me.
Well, it makes you like, if you get into the other rumors that he's actually always been a fucking Mossad agent.
Ooh, well then, now you're involving the Jews.
Well, I'm just saying, right? Like,
Here we go.
Right?
Here we go.
So I'm
Can't
talking
talk about that.
No, you can. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's
I mean,
really
that's
get
one of the
banned.
rumors is he's a Mossad agent working for Israel, blackmailing American politicians. And it's why America gets such favorable treatment, or Israel gets such favorable treatment from America. It's because there's blackmail on high level.
I mean, it is a question to ask how a country of
and that's a good. I'm just saying the conspiracy. Like, don't shoot the messenger.
that's what I mean. It's a good question to ask how a country of 7-10 million people have seemingly control of the world's biggest military somehow.
Yeah, I mean, they at the beck and call.
Like, I don't know how that deal got started. Does anyone?
No, I have no idea. I don't know the
Epstein,
history
probably.
of the,
Probably.
right? But
Who knows?
He's sleeping with the gefilte fishes now.
I mean, there's rumors that he's not even dead.
But
right?
do you imagine some of
He's
those
hanging out
videos?
with Hitler in the fucking South
Argentina.
America.
Just imagine some of those videos get released, though, the Epstein files. And it's like fucking 79-year-old Joe Biden. Just the grossest fucking shit you've ever seen.
Dude, and it would be.
And everyone's going to
terrible.
watch it because it's out there.
Well, that's the other.
I don't know, man. If there's kids and
that's the
shit,
other-
I don't think people are.
No, that's the
Yeah,
other
you know
thing.
what
It's like,
happened? Everyone watched Mr. Hands get fucked by a horse. Everyone did.
Mr. Who?
Yeah.
What?
Mr. Hand?
Mr.
You never-
Hand?
No.
Mr. Hand got fucked by a horse?
You've
Never saw
seen that in
video?
high school.
Mr.
for sure.
Hand from South Park?
Dude, you
No,
never
Mr.
saw the
Hands.
Mr. Hand video when you were a kid?
No.
Guy gets fucked by a horse.
Dude.
Dies.
The guy got fucked to death by a horse. It was insane.
You've seen it when you were in
I
high school.
swear to God, I haven't
Everyone's
seen
seen
it.
it, dude.
No.
Willingly.
Everyone's seen it.
Willingly.
And he died?
Oh, yeah.
Must have like perforated his bowels or something
Like,
like
yeah.
that.
I guess the story is he did it many times, and just one time that he got like a too aggressive of a horse, and it was over.
Yeah. Big stud. Gave it to him.
Mr. Hands. That's what I mean. People watch gross
Yeah.
shit. People watch
That's
anything that
fucked
comes out
up.
of the Epstein
But
files,
here's
for
the
sure.
thing.
That's
The interesting thing about having that kind of blackmail on anyone is you're also like it's also like one of the most serious offenses to share, be in possession of. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking kryptonite for everyone at that point. So it's like also the perfect blackmail because if someone holds it, they're like, I have this
Like,
and I can
Pedophile.
release it. And I can release it. But then it's like also if you don't want it to get out, like, you know, it's like it's not going to be that wide because you pull it.
but that's the thing about like pedophile stuff. Like if somehow you got a hold of it, now you're holding child porn.
Yeah.
You had nothing to do with it. You don't know how it got on your computer. Child porn. Now you're toast. You're toast.
Yeah. It's a, I
That's
mean,
the
that's
one thing that if you had a hacker who didn't like you, whatever reason, put it on your computer, have a hot tip to the FBI. Next thing you know, they search your hard drive. Can you tell us about this? And you go, never seen that in my life. They go, don't believe you. You're going to jail now.
I mean, even like, and we've seen it in numerous cases that we've done.
Why did Andrew
and I'm
leave
not-
as soon as we started talking about this? What's he
I
got
don't
to
know.
hide?
This is a good check. Yeah, I don't think he could download anything, so he's in the clear.
He changed the hard drive
that
by
guy would
himself.
that guy would have to have Polaroids.
Did you?
the only thing-
Are you getting a little paranoid? Someone listening at the back door
Yeah.
there, or what?
Yeah, man. Mossad's at my door.
I mean, you're the closest to Mossad of all of us. You're just one country over.
No way.
Yeah, dude, it's fucked up. Like we've seen numerous cases that we've done where it's like someone had something to say about a government or get some knowledge, and then the next thing they have child porn, and it's like no questions asked, arrested. I mean, we even saw it with Alex Jones, right? Where when he was going through all his stuff, they're like, we found child porn on Alex Jones's computers, and then that was the headline. That was it. And then later,
Don't
it's
even
like
have to have it. You just have to say you have
someone had emailed it to him, never opened, but had emailed it to his like InfoWars servers, and it was never been opened. But the headline was Alex Jones in possession of child porn. Technically, not wrong, not defamatory because technically, right? You're like it's a fucking weird one with that kind of shit, but. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It is a little depressing to go through this stuff because you're just like, dude, I start to go. It's just so corrupt. It's so corrupt.
How can it not be?
Right? And it's like that. This whole system is a facade of like this good, and we're gonna do these good things, and under just
Nothing
it's
ever
just
happens,
a thin surface veneer of like hopes and prayers and well wishes.
So you just
and underneath is
you
just
just
a
seen it with
seedy fucking underworld.
You just seen it with the Doge, right? In this new American election, they say they uncover all this fraud and waste, and they cut like a couple programs, but barely anything in the end because they're like, no, those stay where they are.
Yeah, it's because it's all dude. As soon as there were a thing, I was like, it's all black budget stuff. That's what it is.
Like, there's no receipts. We don't know where it goes. We recommend we close the programs. nothing gets closed, but like some foreign aid stuff here and there, not a lot. Probably affects.
When you read that stuff too, you're just like, that's all a front.
That's what I mean.
That's hilarious.
But nothing,
that's not real. Who the fuck is buying that?
Dude, I was just reading something the other day. Like in the end, Doge said they're going to save like $1 trillion. They ended up saving like 50 billion. Like not like a drop in the bucket, like nothing.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's so much fraud and waste and possible just extreme corruption. Here's our recommendations. And then because nothing happened with that, you're like, it's the same people then. It doesn't matter. That's just like, if you're a good like political party and you want to keep power, you give the people a little like voice, say like, oh, we're going to audit the government with this government efficiency new team. You let them do it. Like, see, we did it. And then you just don't do anything about it and just let it blow over and just continue on as normal.
Did you see Elon with the last press conference there?
No,
The
black guy? He's probably fucking training jiu-jitsu. Like, what's his fuck? The Facebook guy. They're going to have a scrap, remember?
Oh, yes. I have a scrap with him.
They said.
your Elon's good. That's a good Elon.
He's like, he did no training. He got 52 years old or whatever. He's just going to fight Zuckerberg, who's now jacked and like an actual fighter. Looks like
he's a bro too.
Yeah,
dude. I have no doubt in my mind that you can look good, but I have a feeling that who's training with fucking Zuckerberg? He's flying you in. He's treating you good.
But I guarantee you, it's one of those things. He's training with Izzy. He's training with Volkanovski.
I guarantee they're like, oh, you got me.
No, probably a little bit of that, but a little bit of training is better than none.
Yeah, he's got some training. Do I think because he was ever an athlete, which he wasn't really? Now when he's 40, he's never going to be amazing, but he's probably
but he's probably good enough.
He's probably got good. He's better than Elon Musk. That would be I'd watch. It'd be hilarious.
These rich fucking guys can do the Jake Paul
for sure,
right? Like Jake Paul was a little different because he's got like a natural athletic base,
and he was still young when he kind of started this.
He's kind of young, but you dump enough time and money into this shit, you're gonna get okay. Especially with something like jiu-jitsu, you don't have to be a crazy athlete to be good at jiu-jitsu.
Oh, dude, and if you're a little bit autistic too, it's even better.
Autistic dudes are great at jiu-jitsu.
They become super obsessed with like the science of it.
Well, it's people chess.
Yep.
Yeah. He goes there, I go here.
It's a weird thing to watch just a jiu-jitsu match where like it's like fall on their back really quick and like crab walk towards each other.
It's weird.
It's super weird, dude.
That's why I like going to fucking to a new level though, because it's more like combat jiu-jitsu, like nobody just rolls on their back. And
it's good to learn. It's good to learn how to choke someone to death, no doubt, and defend yourself from getting choked to death. That seems like a pretty good option. Why not?
Yeah, I like it.
Why not?
I'm happy just not to get punched in the fucking head anymore.
That's a bonus. Yes.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, when you do some of your own research on some of these, and like I said, there's some. Again, the list is huge, and there's some that, as a conspiracy-minded person, I'll read and I'll go,
yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. Some are like, oh, he died of a heart attack. Was he 350 pounds? Yes. Yeah. Was he an alcoholic? Yes. Did he smoke? Yes. He probably.
But then my mind goes, I know they have a heart attack gun. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so at the same time, like, that one may be more suspicious to me. I don't know.
How much of a conspiracy theorist are you? Right? They have heart attack guns. All right.
Oh, that's a good one. What you need to do is you need to test your level of conspiracy. Like if you could be could you host your own alien theories theorizing? You need to go through that list. And if you hit 50 for 50 where you're like, it's all fucking Clintons and you can reason why each one of those could be attributed to them, then you're like, hey, listen, you're one of us.
You're prolapsing.
But yeah, some of them are loose. Like some of them are like some of the plane crash ones, although dude, commercial aviation, but unbelievably safe.
They're crashing planes.
Unbelievably safe.
Sending Homelander out to take care of that shit.
Yeah, it's so it's like when that stuff's happening, I'm kind of like, it's different. I mean, at one point, even Kobe Bryant was listed as a Clinton because there was, I guess, I'm pretty sure it's fake because it was like a meme for a while of anyone who had died, someone would like Photoshop like if when Kobe died, someone photoshopped and it was like, I have information that will lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton. And so people like jumped on that and was like, Kobe Bryant's on the kill list. helicopter, just like, but like it's loose helicopter. So people like make these loose connections on some of them. Do I think Kobe Bryant was killed by the Clintons? No, I think Kobe Bryant was killed by a overconfident pilot piloting in terrible conditions.
Yeah, if that crash would have happened in crystal clear skies, no wind.
Yeah,
then you'd be like,
that would be weird.
That would be
he
weird.
Shouldn't have been flying. That pilot should not.
It was
if that helicopter just randomly crashed into a fucking commercial airliner.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Weird. There's some weird shit out there, boys.
Have you guys watched The Rehearsal season 2 yet?
Oh, I can't wait.
It's so good.
I haven't watched a rehearsal season 1.
Oh, what? Dude, season 2.
I've never even heard of it.
Did you watch Nathan?
It's so good.
Did you watch Nathan For You?
Nope.
Oh my God. Dude, you're missing
you know how many
out.
shows are on the list of people that tell me to watch stuff?
No, listen though.
It's like 400 shows.
Listen, Zelt, you will
hope
love
you're hungry for nothing.
You will
die.
It's a comedy.
Yes, it's phenomenal.
So hold on. I think I think a better jump off point for Zell would be The Rehearsal. This
Better
guy,
than Nathan For You?
Yes, based on Zell's, because I think you'd be more interested in the psychology of The Rehearsal. This guy makes 1-for-1 sets of like real places and like does these elaborate fucking like hires actors to like help people. And in season, like, I'll just give you season 1. Like,
don't spoil nothing. Don't spoil nothing.
By the time I watch it, I will forget what you said.
No, dude. He helps a guy's nervous to have a talk with someone, and to help this guy calm his nerves, this guy hires lookalike actors of every single person that like works in this bar. He builds a 1-for-1 version of the bar, like down to the rips in the certain seats that are placed.
I like that.
And then he runs every scenario that could possibly happen when this guy has this difficult conversation, from pizza being burnt to this girl not responding well, and they perfect how this guy is going to interact, and then they run it. Then they run it for real, and you get to watch this guy have a real conversation after he's rehearsed it like 1,000 times. Like and then it I'm giving you surface level. It gets so deep on both of these seasons, because then you realize that Nathan's running his own rehearsals, and like it's fucking insane. It's insane shit. I can't believe it's real. I had to look it up and be like,
if you want something more casual, watch Nathan For You first.
Nathan For You is fucking hilarious. Basically, he got the idea for it, The Rehearsal, from Nathan For You.
I'll tell you, I'll go look at my list of shows I have to watch in after hours because it's ridiculously long.
All right, well, let's get there. Patreon supporters.
I don't read Patreon supporters anymore.
Depressing.
We have so many Patreon supporters this week that I just can't. I don't want to take the time.
All of you are just. There's too many.
We love you.
Slow
all,
down.
Though.
Slow down. We need a couple of weeks
for sure. But we can't take the time on the show. We're talking about huge conspiracies here.
We don't want to link anyone's name to this episode.
100%. That's exactly
right? That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Because if we link your name to this episode, you could be a potential target. So we're looking out for you.
But having said that, make sure to support your boys and go to alientheorist.com. Support us on Patreon. Your support, the show keeps going. We fucking love it.
That Patreon keeps going up. We keep going. Keeps going down. We keep
Dan didn't go to Thailand. We lost Patreon supporters, so we had to cut Dan from the show.
We're like, if we have enough by Friday, we'll let him back. We'll bring him back for next week.
So don't expect Dan anytime soon. He actually might not come back from Thailand.
Yeah, we'll see.
This might be it. Especially after he sees that we did this episode, he's like, I'm done.
It might not be safe for him stateside.
It's true.
And as we always say at the end of these things, keep those eyes on the skies.
Peace.
This Father's Day at Lowe's, score free gifts for the greatest dad. Right now, get a free Blackstone 8-piece accessory kit when you buy a Blackstone 28-inch griddle. Plus, get 2 free select Craftsman V20 tools when you buy an RP brushless drill and impact driver combo kit. Shop these deals and more this Father's Day at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
If you're a podcast host, listen up. This one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle. And I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.